Okay, so a few of you have had some questions about how to approach beginning this color wheel project. Really, the first step is just like yesterday, and I'm going to take a circle and I'm going to trace it. So this is the same yogurt lid I used yesterday when I was making my example. I traced around that. I divided my square then, or my circle, excuse me, into the 12 wedges. And then you can see for this design, I have simply like drawn some jagged lines. It could be geometric shapes. It could be pretty much anything. And I have started coloring in just on the blue. So I have tiny little notes out here where the different colors go, just so I remember. And then as I'm coloring, I'm using different variations of the color to make or highlight this design that I have here. So you can see where I've changed the color to like kind of reflect where that design was, and I've gone back and I've added in some different shading, and then I would just go ahead and move to the next section. Maybe when I'm done, I would decide that I want to do some black outlining or some other designs on here, and that would all be fine. And so like moving to the next section, maybe I decide the next section is green, and I have these 3 colors of green in my colored pencil set, and so I'm going to do a similar thing that I did to the blue, and I'm going to start darker and work my way lighter, making sure that my colored pencil work isn't messy, right? I'm trying to color in all the same direction. Obviously, if I have paint, I'm gonna do this with paint and not with colored pencils. But I know a lot of you guys have colored pencils and don't have paint, so I'm gonna just kind of show you some different colored pencil techniques. Making sure that, like you can see, I'm trying to color all in the same direction. Also, I'm making sure to get my color as kind of as vibrant as I can possibly get it. So I'm making this really dark out here with some more layers, and I'm gradually moving inside my shape as I come into the color wheel here. So I'm kind of trying to mimic this same kind of effect that I did with the blue using my green colors. So I'm going to fade this in and then shift to the next color of green that I have available, which is a little bit brighter, and kind of overlap and blend those as I go. I need to fill across. As you can see, I'm kind of brightening up the rest of this green as I come this way. And again, I'm going to kind of just fade that. So you can see I'm just trying to explore the idea of the color and the concept of a color wheel, and that those colors shift and change as we go across the color wheel or around the color wheel, and do it in a way that's interesting and fun. Making sure that my color, like I said, is smooth and as vibrant as possible. Get down here, lighten that up, and then shift to this really bright, or like kind of lightest green that I have. Overlapping these as well so that that color blends together. So this is one way to do this. There is no like right answer for how to make this happen. But this is a solution that I have found, And I think it is turning out sort of interesting. And it kind of shifted. It wasn't necessarily my original plan, but I'm kind of liking how it's turning out. I like this light dark and that there's going to be a separate design inside the circle as I work my way around. Then I'm gonna have to mix my blue and my green. I don't have a blue-green in this colored pencil set, so I am gonna have to make a mesh of these two colors in between here as I work my way around. And then once I'm finished, I'm going to have to kind of think about, do I want to add some pen designs? Because that's one of the other examples. If you look at the Google Slides presentation, there's an example that it's basically just a color wheel colored really vibrantly, and then there's black pen patterns over the top of it. You know, like I said, there's no like one right answer. Everybody's project should look really different from everybody else's project. So here is the beginning of this version. Now you could see over here on the other page, I have a little bit different take on it, and I'm going to be using my watercolors for this one, and then maybe some colored pencil over the top. So this is going to take me a little longer. Even the coloring over here, this is going to take me probably at least an hour to finish all the layering and the blending that I'm going to want to do to completely finish this color wheel so that it is vibrant and beautiful. Like I said, for this one, I plan on using my watercolors, but you can see I've drawn a simple bird, and so I'm tracing that bird in a circle. So I have 12 of them. So I drew lines on here that I will eventually erase. And I am placing the bird along the line and adding it in. So this one goes behind. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and paint these in using the colors from the color wheel. I'm gonna have to figure out which ones are in front. So right now, this is gonna be my front bird. So this bird's gonna be tucked behind. And then this bird's gonna have to be scooched behind that guy. And so you can see, like, as I'm planning this, using my pencil, this is the front bird again, so this goes behind here, this comes out here. But this is just gonna take me a little bit to like weasel everything between, but you can kind of see that as I'm working my way around the circle and adding the next bird each time, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint these birds using the colors from around the color wheel. I then might also do some pen or some colored pencil over the top just to have it feel more finished. But right now, this is the beginning phase. So this is another way that you could do this. This, you could trace a very simple shape. So I could just make sort of a squiggly kind of shape and layer that in a circle. I could use different tracers, but this would be another way for you to think about this assignment. Is that you draw something once and trace it. I could, of course, draw separate birds in each segment or separate flowers, or, you know, like it could be an illustration of anything I want to. And as long as I paint or color so that it is a color wheel when we're finished, then I will have accomplished the parameter for the assignment itself. So hopefully this helps some of you get started. I know I had a few questions about how to kind of start this project. And like I said, there's no like real one solution for how this can work. But this hopefully helps give you guys just a little bit of guidance about what the beginning of your project could look like, and a couple of different ways to kind of think about how to start this project as you work on it for the next couple of days.